This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hi there, I'm Nohelani Graff with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona on this Saturday. We want to start with a major development in the war against the coronavirus. This morning, the FDA giving the green light for PFIZER'S vaccine to be distributed in the United States. Shipping could start as early as today, too. Pfizer is going to send doses from its Michigan warehouse directly to sites that have been pre-selected by local health officials. The FDA says they have not sacrificed scientific standards, but does add it is unclear how long immunity will last after a person receives both doses of the vaccine. Here in Arizona, now that the vaccine is authorized, the focus turns to distribution. So starting on Monday, we know roughly 58,000 doses will begin appearing in our state. Dr. Kara Chris, director of Arizona Health Services, says the first shipment will go to Maricopa and Pima County doctors and nurses specifically. And then the week of Christmas, the state expects roughly 190,000 doses. At that point, every county is going to have vaccine doses, but it'll be based on population.
One of the things for our vaccination sites is that people will be required to remain on site for about 15 minutes after, so that we can ensure that there isn't a reaction that needs to be taken care of or a medical emergency. But so far, the safety profile looks really good.
Now, after healthcare workers, long-term care staff and residents will be followed by essential workers like first responders. That's the order of the vaccine rollout. But of course, with a new vaccine, we know come a lot of questions, so we're working to get them answered for you. Emails have already started pouring in ahead of our live town hall. So we want to remind you, ABC 15 is hosting that event during our newscast twice at 6 in the morning and then 6 in the evening on Tuesday. We're going to have a panel of experts here. So if you have a question, we want to hear it so we can bring it directly to them. Email us right now at ask@abc15.com, and then be sure to watch on Tuesday right here on ABC 15 and also all of our streaming platforms. He is a doctor on the front lines and tells us he was fired for how vocal he is on the state's COVID-19 response. ABC 15 speaking with Dr. Clayvon Gilman, who says he was fired from Yuma Regional Medical Center for sounding the alarm about the severity of COVID-19 inside the hospitals that he was seeing. The former New York ER doctor moved to Arizona during our first surge, and he posted on social media that there were no ICU beds during one of his shifts to transfer patients. The day after, he says he was told not to return to the hospital.
The hospital and administration part that I don't even know. That just one day told me I can't come back to work. Imagine that. And imagine being a frontline healthcare provider and experiencing all that trauma.
So the hospital saying that there's been a misunderstanding, that Dr. Gilman was scheduled to work this weekend. However, he tells us he's been scheduled many times to work and then ultimately is told not to come in. Also, late last night, Oprah responding to Dr. Gilman's story on social media, saying that we should be taking care of those who are taking care of us. Oprah adding that she wants to send Dr. Gilman and his family on an immediate vacation once the pandemic is over. Also, we want to lift your spirits here as some of our healthcare systems near their breaking point. There is a strong message in Pima County. More than 24 health officials there signing a letter to the community asking neighbors to stay home, wear a mask. As of yesterday, the Pima County Health Director saying there were just 7 available ICU beds across the entire county. It is important to note, though, that number does fluctuate day by day. Now let's bring you some joy, and especially to those who need it most. A group of Valley volunteers hitting the streets in what they're calling a joy convoy. Foothills Caring Corps visiting seniors and other adults all over the Northeast Valley, spreading cheer to about 80 people who've been stuck at home because of the pandemic. The nonprofit does run on donations, all made possible because of these volunteers. So if you're interested in getting involved, we have information posted with this story on ABC15.com. Here's a look at that most accurate forecast for your Saturday. Great hiking weather continues, but a chilly start. We're spending the morning in the 40s, but by the middle of the afternoon, it will be in the upper 60s today, staying sunny and dry with just a few high passing clouds. Sunset this evening in the 5 o'clock hour, we start dipping back down into the low 50s and then the 60s as well. Highs today in the upper 60s, 67 in Glendale, Levine, and Tempe, 69 in Chandler and Gilbert, 60 degrees. That forecast high up in Anthem. We'll see upper 60s and low 70s across southern and western Arizona. Central Arizona, highs in the low to mid 50s, and northern Arizona with highs in the 40s mostly, but in Flagstaff, you'll dip into the upper 30s. Here in the valley, we continue our cool down as we move through the weekend. Tomorrow, our highs in the mid 60s and breezy conditions in the valley. We'll stay in the mid 60s through the middle of the next week, and then we're back into the upper 60s and low 70s by Friday. For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, we're always updating ABC15.com, and you can also download our free ABC15 app. Make it a great day.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.